What's up guys, it's Mabo here. Today I want to talk about the Dicapac and if I can recommend it or not. Let's go! So it all started with my plans to going to Fuerteventura, and I was looking for a solution to film with the camera underwater. I didn't want to use the GoPro this time because I think when you're switching between camera and GoPro you always see the difference. So I was looking for a cheap underwater housing for the A7SIII. These underwater housings for 2,000 or 3,000 euros were just too expensive for me. They're really nice, but for some water shots they might be a little overkill. And I found the Dicapac for 60 to 70 bucks on Amazon. The reviews were so-so. Some were saying it broke my camera, some were saying it worked out fine, and I decided to give it a try. But I insured the camera at first to avoid any financial catastrophe. So the setup is pretty easy. You can put the camera straight up in from above. You can remove the lens cap here and put the lens in from the front. But with the 24 to 70 G Master, I could fit it from above. You got the little zipper here. You got to close the zipper, and before you close it totally, make sure that you get out the air. If you're not doing that, you got like an air bubble. Then you turn it and close it with another zipper. I recommend you to set the find the monitor setting to manual, because the camera thinks that you're looking at the camera when the plastic bag is in front of it, and then it switches all the time from the monitor to the screen and back. So turn that to manual, and you definitely want to turn the touch features of the display off, because when the display touches the camera it changes settings. It activates the tracking control feature at places you don't want it to track. You also have to consider that the lens is vignetting if you're going too wide. So 24mm was a little bit too wide for the normal modes in 24p and 60p. When I switched to 120p, the crop of 10% was perfect and I had no vignetting anymore. So you have to keep in mind that it's vignetting when you're using lenses that are too wide. When you got the Dicapac in water, you got this little strap which I didn't use because it was just annoying me. I was holding it. You can see through the plastic bag, but it's really reflective, so the sun is really challenging you to see anything. Underwater I could see something with goggles, but only when I was in the shadows and there was no sun shining directly onto the bag. So you're pretty limited in the water by seeing your shot, setting the shots. So I recommend you to set everything up in the first place before you're going into the water. Makes shooting in the water much easier. Even though I pushed out most of the air in the bag, it still wanted to go up when I was trying to go underwater. So I shot these shots where I was under Tara, shooting her as she was diving. I really needed to grab a really big rock that dragged me down so I could shoot underwater. So keep that in mind, it's not really made for diving. You also have to keep in mind that there is a magnification when you go from above underwater, and that your shots will not be as wide as when you're shooting above water level. There are some lens limitations. The 24 to 70 G Master fits in pretty perfectly. I could mount the Tiffen 82mm filter on top of the lens, it was no problem, but the Polar Pro VND Peter McKinnon edition was too wide for the lens, so I couldn't mount it into the pack. So let's move to the conclusion. Can I recommend this bag? I would say with limitations, definitely. It's a fun, cheap alternative to put your camera near to the water or a little bit under the water. But it's definitely not made for diving. It's definitely not made for swimming in big waves. One big wave hit me with the Dicapac, and there were actually some tiny water drops coming inside. So I definitely do not recommend going surfing with it. But to shoot with it near water or in shallow water is definitely a fun way and gives you another perspective with the high quality video formats of the A7SIII. But you have to keep one thing in mind before you use the Dicapac. Maybe insure your camera first. That's it for this video. I hope I could help you out. Check me out on Instagram. I'll post some behind the scenes stuff over there. See you in the next one. Peace.